I have what? I have one headphone bud working, but they do at least connect to my phone. Nope, don't like it.
Nope.
But gotta get a new laptop.
Ugh, what a fucking bummer.
Yeah.
I'm very concerned about the day that that's gonna happen.
Yours hasn't died yet?
No, mine's still going.
Dude, you've had what?
I've had mine for just as long as you've had it, and mine's like a model year behind or something.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Thing's still going.
Well, you also have like the desktop that you use like every single day.
So I don't
work.
use the desktop that much anymore, just because I'm not really at home that often. But yeah,
Anyways, I am recording.
I am too. Yeah, I definitely want to transition to more of the desktop stuff, but I think I might buy a new one at some point, or maybe just a laptop. I don't know. Who cares? This isn't a tech podcast. Let's go with the countdown. Welcome back to the Packy Run podcast, my dudes and dudettes and human beings.
Yes.
How are we feeling today, Dan?
I'm surviving.
It's December.
Surviving.
It's December. I feel like from now until like we really, really hit the holiday stride, it's really just survival.
I mean, my job is already... both of my jobs have been in the holiday spirit, so I'm already well into that.
My job has kind of been in the holiday spirit. I only heard Christmas music like once, and I guess one of my coworkers played Christmas music the other day for a little bit, so it still hasn't hit me. Like the complex that I work in they've had their holiday decorations up since before Thanksgiving,
Right.
which I think is a little much. But I mean, it's weird getting older. Like the older I get, the less that I care.
Yeah, and I mean, the older I get, the more I love Thanksgiving.
Yeah, a day where you can just kind of sit around and watch football and gorge yourself sounds a lot better than family parties and coordinating and spending money and travel. And oh my God, I'm already overwhelmed about my trip home. Shit.
Oh, man. I did end up hosting Thanksgiving this year.
I saw.
And, I am so used to just going to a Thanksgiving. I had no idea the amount of, fucking work that goes into everything for a Thanksgiving dinner.
I did not appreciate that until I moved down here and had people start hitting me up and hosting them. Like my parents would do like Christmas Eves and Christmas Days and Thanksgivings and like Halloween, birthdays. My parents love to host, and I never really understood why my mom especially would be so stressed out like 2 to 3 days leading up to and then during the day. Like I never understood it until I started even just hosting people for a night. Like I'll have a good time and like it's always nice to see people and whatever, but people will go home and I'll literally sit down and be like, I have nothing more to give.
Yeah.
Like I have no energy for anything anymore.
That was me, and we were hosting a couple people and they were sleeping over the next day, and when everyone finally left and I went to go to work and came back later that day, I was like I had all the leftovers. I still had leftover food, leftover booze. I had the TV all to myself. I was like, yes, I can do whatever. This is the life.
This is the life. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that on a spiritual level. When you go from being surrounded by people and you have no real way out, and then you're finally you sit down on your bed or on your couch or something, and oh man, just being like, I'm now the master of my own destiny.
Yes, exactly.
That's funny. So Thanksgiving was Sounds like Thanksgiving was pretty good for you. I spent it all alone. I watched football and Thanksgiving episodes of TV shows. I air fried a turkey breast and made some like mashed potatoes and stuffing.
Nice. Did you make them from scratch or did you
The stuffing I made it half from scratch. I did like a cornbread recipe stuffing,
Oh, word.
which was pretty good. So I got some like pre-made cornbread and then, did the rest of the preparation on that. And then I actually had the stuffing done before I started with the turkey breast. So what I ended up doing was having to microwave the stuffing after I had finished because the turkey breast took like 15 minutes in my air fryer.
That's not bad.
It was awesome. Like in the time that it would have taken me to preheat the oven, I was pretty much done.
Oh, man. What else did you make?
That was pretty much it. Stuffing, turkey breasts. I had some like frozen green beans and stuff. So I got a little bit of roughage in there.
You gotta.
Yeah. And then I just had I bought a bottle of Kim Crawford, like Sauvignon Blanc, because that's what my parents and I would always drink when we were together on Thanksgiving. So I did that and just kind of vegged on the couch, and it was not that bad.
Yeah. Oh boy. I think I had finally at one point it was 8 people coming. Or no, it wasn't 8. It was like 6 people not counting myself. 2 people vegetarian. So I was like, it's not worth it making turkey.
Yeah.
So I made like a spit-cocked turkey.
There you go.
Or chicken, I meant. I made homemade green bean casserole with like homemade like a mushroom like soup with it.
That's awesome.
Mashed potatoes, stuffing. I made cranberry sauce.
I looked at cranberry sauce at the grocery store when I went, and I'm just not that big of a fan, so I decided against it. But I did think about it because stuff like that, I like to, even though like I historically haven't liked it, I'll keep trying it. And yeah, I haven't done that with cranberry sauce in a while.
That's true. I mean, I think I'm one of the only, it must be just my family. We're the weird people who like the cranberry sauce in the can. That's just one single like blob. I like that. And I know a lot of people don't like it. I made like the cranberry sauce not like that. But yeah. That's how I prefer to enjoy my cranberry sauce.
There are some things that you just can't do homemade. Some things are just, you just have to, it has to be done the right way. And
yes, for sure.
The big companies can do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving was pretty good. It was pretty quiet. I had to work on Black Friday, which wasn't horrendous.
Same.
But yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of time and effort to be around and dealing with some of the general public. And then nothing super eventful after that until this past Thursday. I got to go to my first Nashville Predators game, which I was pretty stoked about. They played the Bruins, so I showed up. My friend Sheba took me, which was awesome because she has season tickets, and she and I haven't really hung out outside of work ever before. So it was one of those things where, like, going into it, it was a little bit of like an anxious thing of like, what are we going to talk about, like, besides work?
Yeah, because you don't want to talk about work the whole time when you're with a coworker.
Yeah,
and just complain the whole time.
And it helps to go to like a sports game or something, and you can, there's like a mutual thing that you can communicate about. But we had like 2.5 hours to kill before the game, so we went over to Bowie's Nashville, which, if any of you guys are in Nashville and haven't gone, Broadway adjacent, the only real rock bar. It's always a good time. I love those guys. So we went to Bowie's. We had a couple of drinks before the game. We were kind of an odd couple. She was all decked out. She had her Winter Classic Nashville Predators jersey on. I was showing up in my Marchand jersey, which got a bunch of people shouting like across the street at me, like "Free Marshy," which was funny. And
I'm surprised no one tried to lick you.
I don't think it would have gone well for them or for me if somebody had. But I was surprised at, for like kind of a nothing game in the middle of the season, how well Boston traveled for that. Like, it was a very Bruins heavy crowd.
I mean, I remember seeing on Twitter, or no, it might have been Facebook, someone that we went to college with who is from Massachusetts originally, moved down to Nashville, was actually at that game too. And he said,
was it Brett? Because I ran into
Yeah, it was.
I ran into Brett at the game. Sheba and I went to go get a hot dog, and he came over and we were talking for a little bit. So that was kind of cool to run into like UNH people too.
Yeah, but I remember he posted like a status that he was like, "Yeah, let's fucking go," and the person behind him or like in front of him turned around and was like, "Hey, you don't say that. We don't do that around here."
It's like, absolutely you do. I was in a section with entirely Preds fans, and the language was, by some people's standards, pretty foul.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's a hockey game.
Like those are when I was working at Barclays Center and the Islanders were playing there. Like God, I miss working those games.
Yeah,
Just the atmosphere, and everyone. It's so electric to be in like that kind of environment. People get kind of annoyed when you have to stop them when the puck is in action.
yeah. That was kind of an interesting thing. Just having to sit there in the aisle and wait. And there were some pretty long little plays there. So that happened a couple of times.
I remember one time it was like a stampede of people at one point. Like they all had to stand there and wait for like 7 minutes.
Hold back, hold the line.
They were so mad. I'm like, I mean, you gotta think of it this way. I mean, the game goes by very quickly. You don't want to miss an important play.
Yeah.
With somebody like walking, like you have to get up and like somebody like blocking your view.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so
same goes at basketball games.
And basketball seems like, especially because you have like the courtside seats the way that they do, like that seems even more dangerous. Like it's so much more likely for something like that to happen. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really think about that because I'm not that big of a basketball guy. But yeah, so it's really all the life updates I have. It's just been work and sleep and eat and
well, my life update in the last week, my phone and laptop broke on the same day.
Bro. We had talked about recording like a week ago.
And I was like, I can't, because
I didn't hear from you for 2 days, and then I just got the text from you, and you were like, "Hey, if you've been trying to reach me, my phone and my laptop both shat the bed on the same day."
like it was weird.
It's terrible luck.
I was at work, physically in my box office of the venue I work at, and my phone started flashing the Apple logo, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And then it went to the screen of like, restore, updated this website, and I was like, "Well, okay, I can't do anything here, so I gotta go home and do it." And my laptop was working fine, and plug in my phone to my computer. It was like, "Oh, we can't do anything about it." Went to the Apple store and they were like, "Okay, let's see if we can restore it." Nope, you got to go to Verizon to do it. And I was like,
Oof.
"Okay, well, guess I got to do that." Luckily, Verizon was like right down the block.
Yeah.
Like pretty much right next to it. So I was like, "Okay." Went in and I was like, explained what was going on. And they're like, "Okay, we gotta, let's see if your insurance covers it or something like that." I'm like, "Okay, sweet."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, you're not a manager on the account, so you can't make any changes."
Hooray.
And at this time, I didn't know the extent of my laptop. I didn't know what was wrong. Like it was working fine that morning. So I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll go home and message my mom." And in between messages, my laptop would go black. My screen would go black and it wouldn't do anything. I'm like, this is frustrating. I can't do anything. Finally got a hold of them using my girlfriend's laptop, Justine's laptop, and they had to call. Of course, like my dad calls and it's like, "Nope, you can't do anything. Your mom has to do it." I'm like, "Oh, you effing kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on." And by that time, like I was just like part of my job is I work on the phones. And what I need when I'm on the phones, well, even when I'm in the box office, I need my cell phone because it's a 2-part verification, which is an app on my phone. So luckily I emailed IT and they were like, "Oh yeah, like we'll let you use the iPad." I'm like, "Okay." So I came in. My manager like looks at me and I look at them. I'm like, "I know I'm not supposed to be here." And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well," and they're like, "Oh, okay, like whatever."
An absolute mess.
Next day, I wake up super early. Apparently, everything was good to go for me to get a phone that day. And wake up, I'm like the first person in the Verizon store, and first thing they tell me is like I was telling them about the insurance, and they were like, "Yeah, you actually want to file it online here." And I'm like, I was like,
You gotta
at
be
this
kidding
point,
me.
I was like, at this in my head, I'm like, I'm not leaving this store without a phone.
Yeah,
I'm not no.
it's not happening.
It's not happening. Like, I wasn't gonna pull a Karen, but like, no Karen from this. But like, I was just like, no. I was like,
We just
fine,
need
I'll
to get
just
this
upgrade
done.
then.
Yeah.
I'll upgrade. Like,
Just get it
which
done.
is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody has a story like that with their phone at some point. You break it or something happens, and I'm staring down the barrel of that with both my phone and my laptop, but so far so good. So
That day is going to come.
I know it is. I'm terrified. Nothing good ever lasts. Existence is pain.
I mean, if you can get. I mean, I've had my laptop for 7 years now at this point. It's due.
That's more than you can really ask for out of a laptop. So yeah.
So I'm due for one anyways. I asked Santa Claus to pay for half of a new laptop for this Christmas, even before it started to die on me. So I mean,
Tell the elves to send me a check.
well, no. I'm going to New Hampshire because of those no
Tax-free,
taxes.
baby.
Tax-free.
Tax-free, baby.
When Massachusetts has tax-free weekend, I don't participate because why? I don't know. Every weekend was tax-free weekend when you live like 30 minutes away from the New Hampshire border.
This is true. Oh man, what a time to be alive. Are you drinking anything this late afternoon, this beautiful Wednesday, December 8th, when we're finally getting around to recording?
Yeah, when Massachusetts is literally about to have a snowstorm.
Are you guys really?
I mean, we're expecting some snow. I know that.
Oh, I hope there's snow on the ground when I get there in a couple of weeks.
I'm drinking a maple espresso black tea
Maple
From,
espresso black tea.
from Trader Joe's. It's pretty good. I would recommend.
The old TJs.
Yes.
I love me some Trader Joe's. I am going the hard route, the hard seltzer route. I put together an order on GoPuff. If anybody knows what GoPuff is, it's basically like an Instacart or a Postmates or something like that. GoPuff, you should sponsor us because their delivery fee is $1.99 always, and they have like the most ridiculous like amalgamation of things. They like open up warehouses and have things shipped directly from the warehouse instead of like picking up your order from somewhere else. And the warehouse happens to be like literally a 3-minute drive away from my house. So one of the things that they did recently was 5-cent sips. So you can get a can of like seltzer or beer or something, and it's just a single can, but they only charge you 5 cents for it. So I got like toilet paper and a bunch of other just like little things that I needed for the house. And I got a Truly strawberry lemonade hard seltzer.
Which truly is terrible.
I've never had it before, but Julian Edelman is now one of their spokespeople. So I figured, what the hell, for 5 cents, I might as well try it. And we're gonna do a live on air review of what Dan says is not that good.
I don't think it's good. But if you do enjoy it, if you're somebody who's listening who enjoys Trulies, good for you.
It's
not for me.
Just drink a White Claw, you weirdo.
I'll drink those extra strong White Claws. Tastes like gasoline.
They literally do taste like gasoline. There is no lie in that statement. They are horrendous.
It's like a little bit of flavoring and gasoline.
This Truly is fine. I think it's because it's strawberry lemonade. Like that's a strong flavor to begin with. So like even if you do, it's kind of like Polar used to do that raspberry lemonade seltzer that I loved when I first started drinking seltzer water in general, not even hard seltzers. And I liked it because it was super flavorful. This is kind of the same thing. It's just a hard seltzer. I'm not bowled over by it, but I'm a sucker for anything Julian Edelman does. I've almost pulled the trigger on a Paramount Plus subscription just to watch Inside the NFL. So I'm a shill. It's fine. Truly, please sponsor us. Paramount, sponsor us. Bowie's.
Yeah.
What are the other companies we've mentioned so far today? Trader Joe's.
Apple, don't sponsor us.
Apple, don't. World's first $1 trillion company. Let's talk.
Give me at least $1 million.
I thought you already had $1 million, Dan.
Well, I want $2 million.
Wealth creates greed. You heard it here first, folks. 1 million wasn't enough for your boy. Now he needs 2. After he gets 2, he'll need 3. When does it end?
I mean,
he has no answers. He's just scratching the back of his neck, looking at his shoes like, damn it. I tried so hard not to be a piece of shit, and here I am, a piece of shit.
I mean, at least I'm not like that. There was some recent CEO that came out and like fired 700 people on a Zoom call while he like took in like a $25 million like bonus.
Yo, there have been stories like that. I try to avoid Facebook as best as possible at all times. I really only have it for self-promotion stuff, and Messenger, most of my family is on, so I can reach out to people that way. But dude, my entire feed has been stories like my entire feed on Facebook is just comic book movie spoilers and stories like that of like restaurants giving people like 1 day notice or like 48-hour notice that they're going to shut down or that they're going to like completely move management. And like, we try not to get too political on the Packy Run, but like everybody that's sitting there and worried about supply chain issues needs to take a good hard look at why there's supply chain issues, because it's not boats like randomly stuck in harbors.
Yeah.
It's a lot more than that, and it's everywhere.
Well, like, I'm just going to make one point, and the whole thing about people don't want to work, nobody wants to work for you. I think everyone collectively is tired of the bullshit and the muck. You know what I mean?
Just constantly getting shafted.
Right. I mean, I also think and this is my theory about especially like waiter jobs and like barista jobs and like grocery store workers and like that kind of stuff. Like, and this is just my assumption on everything that has happened since this pandemic. I think a lot of people at not normal jobs, but like jobs that require a degree, and people like me and you are finally getting those jobs because people at those companies retired because they're like, fuck it, might as well spend more time with my family. We move up, get the job. People who were already there are getting promoted, and now there's no one working at Starbucks.
Yeah. And there's also just the issue with like the benefits and the actual pay, and like we could go deep, and one of these days maybe we'll get like a political expert of some kind on here, and we'll go in. We'll teach you something. But I don't think today's that day. I think we're gonna chill. We're gonna re-enter the realm of the Packy Run a little bit, and we've already talked about a former Patriot today. So let's talk about the current Patriots, and
yes.
And their now 7-game winning streak.
Where we last let off, it was the Cleveland Browns game. That was the last game. Then we played Atlanta, won 25-0. Tennessee 36-0, and Buffalo 14-10.
So where do we want to start? Atlanta?
Yeah, let's start with Atlanta.
The Jets are a butt fumble of an organization, and Atlanta is forever going to be in the shadow of 28-3. These are two facts, not assumptions, not fantasy. These are facts about the modern day NFL, and these will be facts until the day that we die or the sun overtakes the earth. One of the two.
Yes. I watched most of that game, and God, this defense is so good. That's
going to be the theme, I think, for all of these games that we're about to talk about. The defense is just unreal good. Steve Belichick has basically been our de facto defensive coordinator for 3 years now. And
Yeah.
I mean, last year was a mulligan kind of all around, even though our defense did bail us out of some games that could have gone truly, truly terrible. But the 2019 defense was amazing. The 2020 season was fine. It was an above average defense, but a terrible just team overall, I think. And now this year we are elite.
Yeah. I mean, Kyle Van Noy has made such a big difference. Matthew Judon, the MVP of this defense.
For sure.
He's probably one of the best signings Patriots have made. I think might be a hot take, but since Stephon Gilmore.
Definitely.
I mean, he has made that kind of impact for this team.
And he's also kind of taken up the mantle on the media side too, that, everybody was in love with the press conferences that Cam Newton would give last year. And they were really entertaining. And even when they were bummers of press conferences, like, Cam's just a fun guy to watch. Matthew Judon has done a really good job of kind of taking up that mantle of being like, every time he does a post-game press conference, like, he's got some sort of line, he's got some sort of joke or something that just you just eat it up.
Yeah, for sure.
He's been an awesome addition.
The Atlanta game, I mean, we got 4 turnovers. That was like the story of the game.
Yeah.
Kyle Van Noy kind of put the nail in the coffin with his pick 6.
Which was an absolutely glorious thing to watch. That's been one of the highlights of watching the Patriots. It was really the only highlight of watching them not last year, but really the highlight of watching them this year is just, I feel like a lot of football fans, if their offense isn't really cooking, or, if the game is tight or whatever, when the defense takes the field, that's when your anxiety really kind of goes up because you're waiting for the other team to score points. And this is one of few times that I can really remember watching a Patriots season where the defense comes on and it's not that feeling of like, oh man, please just get a stop. Please try to figure something out. It's like, all right, what are they going to come up with?
Yeah, for sure. I guess to give comparison, like 10 years ago, like back in 2011 with the Patriots, we had an unbelievable offense. We had Wes Welker, we had Gronk, we had all these weapons. Brady was winning MVPs, but our defense couldn't stop a small breeze.
Nope.
And geez, like we can even look at the Buffalo game. We'll get full Buffalo game in a minute.
We'll get there, but they did more than stop a small breeze.
Like,
for sure.
Cliche. But Josh Allen has been a problem all year, and like 10 points, only stopping them like less than 250 yards. Man,
But let's paint the picture. So the Atlanta game was not, I don't think anybody was looking at that game really at all this season, but especially in the week leading up to it. I don't think anybody was looking at that game as anything other than a Patriots win. I mean, Atlanta's just kind of a mess, and they keep having these flashes of looking really good, and then they remind us that, oh yeah, they're the Atlanta Falcons. The game after that was the Tennessee Titans.
And I remember saying beforehand, like we were looking ahead at some of the games, and I was like, this game is going to be a real test. And same with the Buffalo game. And I mean, we steamrolled this team. We steamrolled the Titans.
And to some extent, it was a test. I mean, their run game was really good. They got a bunch of decent runs on us, and like, at one point, did Tennessee have the number 1 seed, or were they? At one point during the season, I believe they were ahead of everybody in the AFC.
I believe they did.
And granted, they were missing a couple of key players. Derrick Henry not being there did kind of change the whole game. But if your team can't pull it together when you're only missing one factor, maybe your team's not that great. So
well, I mean, they had 2 running backs rush for over 100 yards on us. Which that's very uncharacteristic of us. Like we got to tighten that up. But I mean, our secondary might be one of the best. Like, I think it is the best in the league.
And it was just like we were saying going into it, that was, I think, the first big test that we've had this year. I think there were other big tests, but they were so early in the season, and with a rookie quarterback and a team that's really kind of reinvented itself and didn't quite have an identity yet. You keep looking back at those games against the Cowboys and against the Buccaneers, and it's like, okay, the team hadn't like fully formed yet. And it was so early in the season, and people talk about it with Bill Belichick Patriots teams all the time. They are better in November, December, January than they are in September, October.
Yeah, I mean,
almost always.
We haven't like showed our full hand yet.
Yeah. So the Titans game was that first game where there was no real excuses that could be made for a win.
And I mean, this is the first game Mac truly got the keys to the car, and they were like, here you go. Like, carry us to the win.
Call some plays.
And I mean, 23 for 32, 310 yards, like 9.7 per yard, 2 touchdowns, only taking 2 sacks. I mean, usually we rely heavily on that running game. I mean, in this game, we only had 105 yards with 24 attempts. Like, this is the game.
Yeah.
It's his best game of his career so far.
I think we said last episode, the Carolina game was kind of the first game where we saw, like, where we'll look back and we'll see it as like a turning point for the season, playoffs, whatever. That was kind of the first game where it was like, oh, this team's not lying when they get up on the podium and say that, they're better than a 2-4 record. They weren't lying, and they had a pretty easy stretch, but it was a nice little ramp up to go from like 2-4. We were 2-4 when we first played the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, like, you're playing the butt fumble of organizations, and that allows the confidence boost to kind of like ramp it up into, okay, let's play an actual contender in the AFC playing against the Titans. Oh, look at that. We shut them out. Like, this team knows what it's doing.
Yeah, they truly do. And I mean, the Titans fumbling 5 times, losing 3 of their fumbles, that definitely helps us win, and forcing those kind of turnovers. Also picking off one of Ryan Tannehill's passes as well.
And doing all of that on a short week with, again, like, I don't want to call them a young team. It's easy to do that because of Mac Jones, but they're not necessarily young. They're just new. It's a lot of new energy and a lot of turnover in personnel, with a couple of the old heads still around, especially in the defense. Like,
yeah, for sure.
It's a completely different Patriots team that really in that game kind of made a statement and was like, we are still the New England Patriots, and sorry, rest of the NFL. Sucks to not have Bill Belichick.
No, for sure. Like, this was a great game.
Made me happy, especially because the flaming thumbtacks. I despise the flaming thumbtacks.
I mean, it was close, like, during the first half. I mean, we only held a 3-point lead, but after that, we
just turned the afterburners on.
Yeah, that is one thing that we do. We never let up on a team.
Nope.
That is one thing about Bill Belichick. There will never be an epic Falcons, like, 28-3, like, collapse.
Yeah.
We're always going to fight, and we're always going to, I mean, even if we're running up the score, try to stop us.
Yeah. And we're definitely going to touch on it in this next game, but it's really impressive, especially when you watch some of the breakdowns when it comes to this elite defense. There is a trope, especially when you get later into the NFL season, where certain teams kind of show you everything that they have. Offensively, for sure, but definitely defensively. By the time that you get to this point in the season, it's pretty easy to look at a team and go, whether it's they love to run zone defense. They love to run man coverage. They love to do whatever. A lot of teams will kind of be defined by what kind of offense or defense they are. And that's one of the coolest things about especially paying attention to some of the breakdown videos and stuff that you can find on YouTube is part of what makes this defense so elite is you get so many different looks from them every single game, and you have so much talent on the defensive side of the ball that like quarterbacks don't know what to do with the Patriots.
No, they don't. And even it's incredible what we've been able to do. There's always been a constant thing where we're giving the quarterback constant pressure, and we're creating turnovers. And because of all that, we're just creating great opportunities for our offense.
And we're giving our offense enough leeway to be able to, like, one of the things that's constantly, Mac Jones is constantly getting criticized for, his arm's not big enough. He's not, he doesn't run enough. He's ingrained in the system, and that's why he's doing so well. But it's funny the way that everybody talks about him, and it's clear that the bar is set way the hell higher for Mac Jones than it is for any of the other rookies, because one, he doesn't make a ton of the rookie mistakes. Mm-hmm. But when he does make some of those rookie mistakes, the rest of his team has put him in such a great position to succeed that those mistakes, they're easy to call out, but they're also not as costly as they would be if he was in like a Trevor Lawrence position or a Zach Wilson position, where like if he screws up, he doesn't have a team around him that's good enough to make up for that.
Well, I think part of the criticism too is, look at who he's succeeding.
Yeah.
You're the Tom Brady successor. Everyone is going to judge you harshly because he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. It's unfair. You can't, and I've been guilty of this. I have come down on Mac Jones a lot this season, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should bring it back a little bit. He is just a rookie. He is still trying to process and learn how to play the pro game. He is doing a great job.
But he passes the eye test, I think, more than Brady did in his first starts. Like nobody was really, I think, that hot on Tom Brady being Drew Bledsoe's replacement until they were well into the postseason, and everybody really kind of sat back and was like, "Oh, do we have something special on our hands?"
Yeah.
As opposed to right now, where all it took was a little bit of a turnaround after 6 games, and now all of a sudden everybody, the Boston sports media, the national media, everybody's kind of sitting back and being like, "Oh, this kid's the real deal."
Yeah.
I would argue that he's ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and he's doing what he needs to do to win.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
So we've already alluded to it. Let's hop into this past Sunday's game. Or it should be noted.
Monday night.
It should be noted the Falcons game was a Monday night game, correct?
That was a Thursday night game.
That was a Thursday night game. And then
the Titans was 1:00 on a Sunday. So we had a longer week.
Yeah, we did.
And then we had this past Monday night game against Buffalo.
And this win reminded me a lot of the win against the Jets. And I say that for this reason. The Patriots, and especially Bill Belichick, have made it a point. People use the term bulletin board material. Mm-hmm. You don't hear a lot of the drama coming out of the Patriots camp. You don't hear a lot of them in general, but they hear everything that's said about them and they use it to motivate themselves. And I think a significant part of the reason that not a lot of people talk about for the success so far this season is last year was a ton of bulletin board material for Bill Belichick. I think there was a lot of talk, especially with Brady going in his first year with the Bucs, going to the Super Bowl. I think Bill Belichick kept a lot of receipts from a lot of the things that people were saying about a failing Patriots team and a winning Tom Brady. And I think he turned around and has used that to motivate himself and his team. So when we played the Jets and we went for the 50 burger, I think part of that was Bill Belichick making a statement through his team and being like, watch what we can do. Just look at how dominant we can be when given the chance. And that has kind of motivated them through these next couple of games. And then we get to the Buffalo game where we sat back and we went, we're going to truly show off how elite our defense is while also basically winning the game with 1.5, 2 of our quarterback's hands tied behind his back.
I wouldn't, it's hard to compare this game to the Jets game. I don't really see it that way.
I'm speaking emotionally, of course.
Yeah, you are being a little hyperbolic and emotional there.
A little bit.
It's crazy how this team pulls out wins so many different ways. Like Mac Jones only threw 3 passes.
3 passes, 2 completions. And we ran the same running play over and over and over again. And it wasn't in the sense of, actually getting points. It wasn't super productive or really productive at all in the second half, but it ate the clock up ridiculously fast, and it gave the defense the opportunity to really show why they should be and are considered an elite defense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say this. If Buffalo had at least an competent running back, and I mean, Devin Singletary's okay, Zach Moss is fine. They're below average starting. I mean, they're starters, but not in the top echelon of starting running backs. If Josh Allen had a star running back to take a lot of those carries,
it might be a different game.
I think it would have been a totally different game here. I mean, we ate up the clock with the amount of running plays that we had. And I think, especially with the way the weather played an impact on this game.
It was huge.
I mean, 3 passes. That's it.
Yep.
Especially compared to last week's game where 300 yards, 22 completions. I think, and I mean, Mac Jones is a good sport about it. He's not like a me first guy. He knows he's, for the team, whatever to help the team win. But can we trust him in games like this going forward? Especially when we are down and we need to push the ball down the field.
And I think we can't have an answer for that right now. And I think a lot of people are stretching to find that answer based on this game, which you can't really do. I think he's a Florida-born boy that played in, the Southern Conference of college football.
Correct.
He's never played in conditions like this, really. So his first time ever, you coddle him and you make sure that he's really playing that game manager role, and you teach him kind of what it's like to be in those positions. I think that's a smart move for his first outing, but I think it also gives you a lot of material to work on, especially with a bye week heading into even more of these colder months. I'm not really worried about it. I think it was really smart and a really great kind of deceptive move on the Patriots' part to kind of, literally and figuratively keep Mac under wraps for this game, because the next time we face the Bills is going to be a massive, conference defining game, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think we even used half of our playbook offensively. Maybe a quarter of it, but we just kept running the same running plays over and over again and just kept chipping away at them that way to mostly eat the clock. And we got a couple of big scores at the beginning, and we have Nick Folk, who's pretty much always a lock, and we really just were focused on grinding it out to get that win. You get to a bye week and you get to practice in some of that colder weather, and you give the kid a little bit more exposure to what he's dealing with. And then the next time you face the Bills, you have basically an entire extra playbook that you can pull out on them. That game is going to be whatever it is, and we'll see when it happens. But right now, I'm kind of sitting back and being I think this was a genius move.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see what's going to happen in the future. And I think obviously Mac Jones did what he had to do. Sometimes games are just like that.
Yep. Now it's time for me. It's time for me to do something that I alluded to last episode. And now I really have to go all in. Put my heart into this. I want to address Josh McDaniels directly. I've been down on Josh for some time now. and I've started to lighten up on him. But I now have to admit, on air, in front of all of you, our loyal listeners, Josh McDaniels is very good at his job. He is a very good offensive coordinator. He's, especially in the past 2 games against the Titans and the Bills, that's that 2-point conversion that early in the game against the Bills is genius. I think a genius move, a beautifully designed play, and set us up for success through the rest of the game in a way that I didn't think that we were capable of being that gutsy on offense, and we were. And Josh McDaniels deserves credit for that. A lot of those plays against the Titans, I can't think of anything specific right now, but I do remember kind of having to eat my words while I was texting my cousin Bobby. So yes, Josh McDaniels, you are a good offensive coordinator. I am glad you're part of this team. He's not on thin ice, but he's not on the thickest of ice either. We'll see. But I am personally sorry to Josh McDaniels for all of the slander these past 2 years.
Well, you might be sorry, and I'm sorry, Bobby, but I'm not. I'm not sorry yet. I'm not sorry yet. I'm not willing to get off my horse.
It's all right, Bobby. You can hit the Pack Your Own Pod DMs and attack Dan now instead of texting me and telling me what a fool I've been.
I mean, I have a new phone now. I have a new phone and I haven't even downloaded the Pack Your Own Pod on my Instagram onto my phone. I haven't logged in yet, so
damn it.
Maybe I'll just avoid that for a couple weeks.
See how it goes. See which one of the two of you gets vindicated.
Yeah. I mean, he has proven, and I think there is a point. Like, Josh was calling a lot of, you got to call the junk plays. You got to keep the defense honest. You got to run. You got to throw the screens in Josh's defense. But, there were some moments this year that I'm like, I don't know, like a screen on 3rd and 11?
Again.
Like, are we trying to score here?
Yeah, I haven't forgotten those.
Right.
Forgiveness is a virtue, but memories are long. So, but at this point in time, after seeing some of what this offense is capable of with some of these plays, I will voice my apology to Josh McDaniels. Bobby can rest easy now. Say hi to Daisy and Moose for me, because my life revolves around dogs.
But also, this defense is carrying this offense.
Abso-freaking-lutely, they are.
If the defense wasn't as good as it was, we wouldn't be on this great winning streak right now. And I think this is the first time in the podcast history where the Patriots are the top seed in the AFC.
What a time to be alive. All is right with the world. Balance has been restored to the force. We are...
according to us, but the rest of the NFL are like... the
entire rest of the NFL.
They're like, you had one bad year you're back to being good.
They all woke up on Tuesday morning and they were like, I'm still in hell. I'm still living in hell.
It's like Groundhog Day.
It really is. So yeah, that's been your multi-week Patriots recap. What do we have looking forward to? We got a bye this week.
Yes. So rest up, boys. We deserve it. Especially we deserve it. Then we have the Colts. We have the Bills again, which the Colts have been sneaking up. Buffalo, who, that's going to be a tough game no matter what. Jacksonville, which, that's a cake. Yeah. Can't sleep on them, obviously. And then we have Miami, who they're also on a win streak as well. They're now 6-7.
Yeah.
Not entirely out of the playoff spot, but the likelihood, I don't know.
I think a few weeks ago, I was a lot more worried about the rest of this schedule than I am right now. I think the second game against Buffalo is the only real big obstacle that I'm seeing there. Indies, they've been a pretty good football team. I just don't have a lot of confidence in Carson Wentz. And Jacksonville's been a mess for a while. I think they're going to continue to be a mess for a little bit, so not real worried about that. And Miami, is that game at home or away?
That's away. So
yeah, Miami's a little bit worrying just because, the Patriots late in the season playing in Miami usually seems to be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, you can't forget the miracle in Miami.
Yeah.
That wasn't good. Like, historically, we have been pretty bad when it comes to going to Miami late in the season.
So we'll see how it goes. But on the whole, if we weren't in the middle... Go ahead.
Also, Miami holds us pretty close. They always play us pretty tight, especially when Brian Flores has been the coach.
Yeah. So I feel pretty good about going down the stretch. I still stand by it. I think Buffalo's my only big worry right now, unless something like catastrophic happens between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, I can see that too. I don't see us just running the table and going 13-4. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we split the games with Buffalo.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's safe to expect 12-5.
Yeah.
I think that's my final prediction.
Which I'm perfectly okay with, considering that we started the season saying, 10-6.
I think I said 10-7.
10-7. Yeah.
So
I was thinking 11-6. So that's, we've definitely improved. The team has definitely come together, so I don't think it's out of the question that maybe we pull something impressive off here. What I don't like is the number of people that have already gone on different talk shows and stuff, and they've already started talking about a Patriots-Buccaneers Super Bowl, even though statistically speaking, that is the most likely outcome if, like, right now.
I haven't heard those takes.
There's been a few of them.
And, I mean, it would be entertaining.
I think it would be entertaining for the Northeast and for Buccaneers fans, and I think everybody else in the NFL would, once again, be sitting back and being like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It might be the lowest rated. It could end up being, if it happened, I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the lowest rated Super Bowls of all time. Because there's so much of the country that would just sit back and be like, I don't care.
Yeah, like, so many people. You know what? Like, I get the Patriots hate, and I get the Tom Brady hate.
I understand a little bit of that fatigue. All that being said, I've said it more than a few times on this podcast. I'm a sucker for a Cinderella story. And what better Cinderella story than Brady wins one year, Belichick comes back the year after and seems to put together a really good team, and watch him go at it.
Yeah, it would be very entertaining.
We'll see.
Yeah, we can't think that far ahead.
Yeah, not quite.
All right. I think that pretty much wraps up our Patriots talk.
Yeah, we had a lot to catch up on.
Tune in 3 weeks' time where we talk about... No, I'm kidding. Let's hope... it's been hard. We're sorry we're so inconsistent with our uploads. We do apologize for that. We're trying to work it out.
I think next year becomes the year of the Packy run. Because we did end up... quick shout out to all the people that listen to us and that have, followed links when we posted them on social media and on other accounts, and, spread it word of mouth and stuff. This year we crossed the 1,000 total listens mark, which is pretty cool for a small podcast. Across I think they got those metrics when we were at episode 45 or something. So we were, 45 episodes, 1,000 total listens. That's not too bad at all. And then our listenership went up 20% from last year. And I believe we started in March, so it wasn't a full year. And this year we had a lot of scheduling issues as we were trying to re-enter from COVID and stuff like that. But you guys have killed it supporting us and talking to us. And, some of the guests that we've had on since we started this have been awesome about promoting it and tagging us and stuff. So keep the conversation going. Keep talking to us.
Also,
nice.
I want to give a quick shout out. We're not going to be done quite yet. I think we're going to probably talk about some other things after this.
Yeah.
But I want to give a quick shout out to Sean's Discord server.
Oh, yes.
It's a lot of fun. It's so entertaining during Patriots games to just. I feel like I'm watching the game with all of you guys at one point. So I love it. It's a lot of fun.
It is super fun. I'm super happy that you joined that. For those that don't know, Discord is basically just like, do you remember AOL chat rooms? It's basically a chat room, but you get your own individual server where everybody can kind of chat. And Sean has one called Roger is a Clown, because we're all Patriots fans in this. And yeah, there's a bunch of different kind of threads where we all talk about, gaming and drinks and the different Boston sports teams and stuff. But by far my favorite thread is the Patriots thread on a Sunday or a Monday or a Thursday night or something. When all of us are kind of sitting there watching the stream and just reacting in real time. It's always a good time, and it's funny that just basically a text message is going to be like a vivid memory for me. But I remember in the general thread when you created your account and you joined Dan, and my friend Pat Marr responds to the notification that Dan Mayotte has joined the server. He just goes, "Oh, well, there goes the town."
What does he mean by that?
It's like he knew that you and I being in the same chat, whether it's a text message thread or a Discord server or something, is just a recipe for chaos.
I mean, all I do is talk shit in the Patriots server.
That's all.
Spoot out hot takes.
That's really. Did you just say spoot out?
My pronunciation in this episode has been kind of bad, and I do apologize. I am 100% sober.
I just spoot out some hot takes. I gotta find a way to incorporate that into the episode title. Oh, that's awesome. Anyways, yeah, shout out to the Discord server. It seems to be a very kind of tight-knit friends kind of deal right now, but who knows? If the Packy Run keeps joining, we might rely on Sean to do our own Discord server. We'll find out. So yeah, shout out to Roger as a Clown. All of you guys are awesome. I love interacting with you guys for Bruins games and Patriots games, and I'm not in the Sox chat that often, but sometimes.
I only have one other thing to say. Not shout out Pat, because he, for whatever reason, his stream is always a couple seconds ahead of everyone else's. And
I think it's because Pat makes more money than all of us, so he can actually watch these things on like cable TV.
He like gives it away. He'd be like, that play is. I'll be like, what the hell? What the fuck?
Yep.
We're like, oh man, we really needed that.
Needed what?
And then I see it, I'm like, fuck you.
It's okay. Pat gets a lot of that kind of shit from me and Sean anyway, so I'm sure that one more person won't hurt.
Like, I have YouTube TV, and I thought that's pretty good, but whatever you have, Pat, must be 10 times better than whatever all the rest of us have.
Must be nice. Yeah, we're it's a good time. So what are we thinking we're going to move on to close out the show this evening?
Want to talk about our Spotify Wraps?
Well, we basically already did for the podcast Wrapped, so let's talk some of these end of year playlists. I'm an Apple Music listener, so I don't get a Spotify Wrapped, but I get Apple's weird, not quite as good Wrapped thing. I think it's really kind of funny how, like, we talked about this a couple of episodes ago, how like streaming music has really changed and evolved. Not just for like music people, but just the general public. Like, everybody posts about their Spotify Wrapped now. I remember, especially when I was writing a lot, like album reviews and things, that was some true nerd shit that we used to do when we would do like our end of the year lists. And that was the thing that really only like musicians and music adjacent people would really do. And now everybody's kind of in on that game. So Listmas has become a really big thing now, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it's, at this point, it's just easy for the normie to get in on it.
Exactly.
And I hate saying the word normie, and I hate calling people normies.
Some people are definitely normies.
I mean, I think as the older I get, the more I turn into a normie.
Yeah.
I think that's just how progression works when you're old.
It's hard. It's very, very hard to avoid just settling.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You gotta put in the effort. Gotta put in the effort to keep your punk points up.
I try, man. I try, but I mean, I'm going to a gig later tonight.
Yeah, you definitely have more punk points than I do.
Yeah, when was the last gig that you went to?
Oh god. Like voluntarily, I don't even remember. Like one where I actually paid money to go to. I missed out. The last one that I tried to go to, I missed out on. It was sold out, but nothing's ever really sold out. So I tried really hard to get in to go see Manchester Orchestra at the Ryman, which I really wanted to do, which isn't necessarily earning me any punk points, but it would have been an amazing show.
That's true. I mean, this is a tip for anyone who is going to shows or goes to shows a lot. When it usually says sold out, you can sometimes, like, the management will release tickets at the door, and it's usually like a pretty small amount, but if you go right at the box office when it opens, like, or a few hours right before, you could just get a ticket the day of.
And especially if it's like a stacked bill, like usually by the time that the openers are wrapping up, they've got a pretty good idea of who's actually going to show up and who isn't. So sometimes sometimes you can get yourself in that way. There's a couple of things other than just like StubHub and the major kind of outlets where you can find some decent tickets.
I mean, after working at a Live Nation venue and seeing and having to break the news to several people that they don't have tickets, don't buy from Vivid Seats, don't buy from StubHub, don't buy from SeatGeek or any other third party. Buy from Ticketmaster or the direct venue that you want to go to. Even secondhand, I mean, Ticketmaster does have secondhand tickets that you can buy. Some people are trying to rip you off, but that's
a lot of people are trying to rip you off.
Right. I mean, everyone is. I mean, I can say with full confidence, Ticketmaster with their fees, not particularly good at either. Just go to the box office in general.
Yeah.
Like, that's your best bet for every single show. Go to the box office.
You gotta love how in the age of convenience and instant gratification, sometimes the easiest way to do things is to revert back to it's the 90s and I have to go sit in line outside of a box office to get a physical ticket.
I mean, people love the physical tickets.
I love a physical ticket. I used to, even when I would get digital tickets, I would cut them out. I would like print them out on a piece of paper and cut them out and keep them. I've got a little box with a bunch of that. Not all of them, which still kind of irks me, but a lot of my show memorabilia is hanging out in there.
I have somewhere a ticket stub signed by Frank Turner when I saw him open for the Dropkick Murphys at the Lowell Songus Arena.
That sounds like such a ridiculously fun gig. I can't lie.
That was, I mean, like, here's my thing with the Dropkick Murphys. I like the hits. I like some of the songs. But man, like, I'm done after 20 minutes.
Yeah, I did 2 or 3 nights in a row of Mighty Mighty Bosstones for Hometown Throwdown one year. And I got to tell you, that first night was super fun because I had also not spent a lot of time at like ska shows. And it's so funny how it's like... how a ska show is literally just a punk show, but like everybody, like there's no, like, nobody's getting aggression out at the ska show. Everybody's just stoked to be there.
So I went to a ska show recently and I looked, it was like Jeff Rosenstock, and last year he put out No Dream.
Yeah.
Great record. Like, if you remember last year, my entire Spotify rewound was all Jeff Rosenstock songs plus like a Billy Joel song.
Yeah, I do remember.
Very funny. Very hilarious. So he put out No Ska Dream, which was No Dream except ska versions on 420.
I love it.
And we went to the ska night where he was playing this ska record from front to back, plus a few extra songs here and there. But man, I just looked out in the crowd and it screams neckbeard, fedora, live in their mom's basement.
I mean, yes.
Sorry, ska fans.
Bosstones was also similar to that, but also you got to give like credit where credit is due. Like, you know, even the more fun bands that you and I would go to see, like going to a Menzinger show, like those aren't like those are some emotional songs, but they're not like heavily emotional. They're not, heartbreak songs like going to like a pop punk or a emo show or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But even a Menzinger show, there's like a catharsis element to it. Like everybody's kind of like in their feelings, I guess.
I mean, a Menzinger show is just dudes who wear hats like how I'm wearing it.
Yeah, your cuffed beanie. My cuffed beanie.
Cuffed beanie, black jean jacket, and holding a PBR and crossing their arms.
Next time you're gonna call me out on the podcast, and you can just say my name. It's just fucking
dudes,
fine.
It's just dudes who look like AJ.
Working class punks, damn it. We exist. There are dozens of us. Dozens!
No, you're just a bunch of throwaway hags who lost the plot.
Damn.
No, I'm
cut me to my core.
Damn, I'm being harsh this episode.
That was mean. You're being especially harsh for somebody who's wearing my hat. For those who do not know, I left a basement hat at our apartment. And granted, I did tell Dan that if I leave anything behind that he wants or needs, he can take it. But I really like that basement hat. I wore that basement hat a lot.
No, what your words was,
here we go.
Like, if I leave stuff here behind, I'll just give you money for it. So where's my money? I took a skateboard and this hat. I don't think I have the skateboard anymore, but I want to be compensated for the hat.
No, your compensation is like 4 years of being able to wear the hat, and I want it back, damn it.
Pay me.
On the other hand, maroon is not really my color, and...
Maroon is very much my color.
Yeah, you ginger asshole. See, I can be cutting too, Dan.
Cut me right at my core.
right to the core. We totally lost the thread there. What the hell were we talking about?
We were going to do Spotify Rewound, which I can't even find. I mean, I can find my playlist. I can't find like the cool graphic thing.
Well, let's start with the top 5 on our respective end of the year streaming playlists, and then I think the graphic might only be available on mobile, so we can figure that out. Let me open up mine. And no, I don't want to share play with Dan. Fine. What I don't need is my music blasting violently into your eardrums as we're recording.
No, I don't need that.
Mine is truly all over the place, but not bad at all. Do you have yours up, or do you want me to run through my top 5 first?
You can run through your top 5.
So, like I said, mine's kind of all over the place. My number 1 most streamed song this year is not a new song at all. I went through a lot of discovery this year, but it wasn't a lot of stuff that came out in 2021. My first most streamed song is Chucky versus the Giant Tortoise by Dance Gavin Dance, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, my buddy Rohan kind of turned me on to them. I had kind of always written off Dance Gavin Dance. And then he showed me some of this newer stuff, and especially that album, Mothership, like there's a lot of really kind of cool technical playing, but it's not like shreddy. It's just like, it's kind of the best case scenario for metalcore in like the modern age. Like it's still heavy. It's got the screamy with the like really high pitched, like clean vocalist, but some of their arrangements are just really kind of impressive. So I'm impressed with that. Track number 2 is Daphne Blue by the band Camino, which is super, super pop. But especially the first half of this year, just kind of going through the motions with some stuff. That song makes a lot of sense. And I stand by it. Like it's a really good, just like guitar-driven pop song. So not mad at that at all. Track number 3 by No Surprise by anybody that's been following me on social media for the past however many months or who's listened to the podcast. Track number 3 is Holiday by Turnstile because that's just such a ridiculously good album. I love that song. That's just, I mean, like hardcore with 80s synth pop elements is such a weird combination, but I'm not mad at it at all. Like, what a great album. I listen to it multiple times a week, every week, because it's just so ridiculously good. Track number 4 is Equip Sunglasses by Hot Mulligan. That album came out last year, but I hadn't really run into it until this year. And I can't, that entire album, I just can't get enough of it. It's that like, emo pop. Like it's not really pop punk the way that I would like recognize pop punk from like The Story So Far or Lost for Words or any of those bands.
Right.
But it's definitely got those elements of like more traditional kind of screamy scrams emo, like filtered through just like really catchy pop songwriting. So that song is awesome. No surprises there. And then track number 5 is Bedhead by Manchester Orchestra. Their latest album kind of fell off for me a little bit after it was first released, but I think it's just because that album and their last album are so dense and like they're like narrative driven albums, so you can't really listen to just singles. Like you kind of got to sit down and take in the entire thing. And
they are definitely that type of band.
Yeah, so like it's a lot. So I'm actually kind of surprised that it made it that far up. But it is definitely, it was chosen as one of the singles, and I think rightfully so for that album. So I'm not super surprised. But yeah, those are my top 5. And I mean, this playlist swings wildly back and forth. I'm surprised that Drug Church didn't make it up into the top 5. We talked about them having a couple new singles, but the EP that they put out this past year has been like, I'm listening to it every other day, and I love what they do with like 90s grunge filtered through like hardcore, but bridge, not like early Bridge 9 style hardcore.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised Drug Church didn't get up there, but those are my top 5, and I think that's it's pretty representative of what my years kind of looked like.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. For my top 5, well, first I'm going to go by my top artists. Number 1, actually, no, I'm going to start with number 5 first, just to keep it interesting. Yeah, switch it up. So number 5 was Casey Musgraves, which makes sense. Came out with a new album. She was in my playlist. Yeah, I mean, her new album, a lot of it was hit or miss, but I enjoyed some of it for sure. It was definitely something I was streaming quite a bit, especially when it came out. Number 4, Jeff Rosenstock.
Shocker.
Shocker. We were just talking about him, but he does not make it in my top 5 songs. I didn't really listen to Ska Dream all that much this year. I probably did it listened to it once, and I was like, "Huh, this is funny. Like, what a concept!" And then continued to listen. Yeah, moved on. But I listened to some of his other albums for sure this year. Number 3, Pup, which, I mean, I love Pup. I think Pup is such a good band.
Did they put something out this past year?
They did. I think they put out a new EP, and they put out a couple singles later on this year as well. And I love how it is pop writing, but it is so heavy and mathy.
Yeah.
At the same time, like it's so cool to listen to.
I can't think about that band without thinking about Justin Blau always wearing a Pup shirt.
That band is so good, though. Justin Blau, I remember when this happened, like I think it was freshman year of college. This is a good gig. It was Modern Baseball, Jeff Rosenstock. I think the Smith Street Band had to drop off, so Sorority Noise played. And I remember Justin was like, "I'm only here for Jeff Rosenstock. Jeff Rosenstock is exactly how I feel." And I didn't understand it at that time. And then I was like, now growing up a little bit, being a little bit older, I'm like, oh, yep, I feel exactly that. Yeah. And it's awesome.
I love that.
Number 2, Lawrence. Lawrence, not widely known. They put out a new album this year called Hotel TV. They've been kind of teasing songs back and forth like last year. Releasing some singles, and this is their 3rd record, and they're like a pop funk band. Very fun to listen to. Like it's like a brother and sister, and they have like a full band behind them with like a horn section. They did a great cover of what was that Backstreet Boys song? It was It's Gonna Be Me. Maybe In Sync. There
we go.
There I go. And I remember that song had like this epic horn crescendo and kind of like an auto-tune on their voices that really like pumped everything in. I really liked that track from that record. And No surprises there, them making it. Although that song did not make my top 5 list for songs. But 2 songs from that record did make it on. If you haven't listened to that record, highly recommend it. It's just a fun record to listen to. If you like the Silk Sonic project that Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars did, you'd probably enjoy this as well.
There you go.
Number 1, Turnstile.
Shocking.
And I mean, no surprises there. Like this
That album is
Turnstile
just
record.
so good.
It's so good. There's a lot of depth and layers to it. Glow On is my album of the year.
Definitely.
Just
and
no
questions asked.
And I haven't even thought about doing a list. But that is up in that rotation for me. Now, top 5 songs. Number 1, and this didn't come out this year. It didn't come up. It came out last year, and it was Dua Lipa. Don't Start Now.
Oh my God. You lose your punk points.
I love that song. I don't care. That's such a great song. It is such
5 punk points from Gryffindor.
It is such a perfect pop song.
I mean, it's hard to argue with success.
I think it's one of the best pop songs written. I mean, I can't say that this decade because this decade has just started. But I think in the grand scheme of like 5 years, I think it holds up as one of the best in the top echelon.
What's her other big one?
She had Don't Stop Now and oh God, what was the second one? Levitating.
That's the one. That's like, it's all over social media and stuff. I cannot deny that is a well-crafted pop song. It's a
great pop. It's fantastic. I think it's the first time a pop song has ever entered my top spot.
True.
But I mean, rightfully so. This gets weird. Pursuit of Happiness, the Kid Cudi MGMT Rat-a-tat like extended version.
What a fucking hit. That's your number 2?
Yeah, that's my number 2.
Damn.
That's a good song.
Were you going through some shit this year?
I was just like...
Anybody who's listening to Kid Cudi that much.
No. Like, it's like the pumped up, like, it's like an EDM, like, crescendo, like, it's like the type... Oh, it's the Steve Aoki remix.
Oh my God.
If you haven't listened to it, it's a fun just party song that you just I don't know.
I get that.
It's sometimes you don't want to listen to music you just want to listen to like fucking around music, and it's just one of those like songs that you just want to like fuck around and like do nothing with. Next one was Mystery by Turnstile.
Fair
No
enough.
surprise there. Like,
nope.
I don't know if it's the best song off that record. I think Holiday might be a little bit better, but that's definitely up there as well. Number 4, False Alarms with John Bellion. And John Bellion is, he's like a producer. I think he pretty much did the producing work on this record. And he comes in and does a rapping verse. I think it's pretty awesome. There's one line about like how Live Nation is a monopoly. And I think that's hilarious. And I would listen to this while I'm walking to my job. Next one is Don't Lose Sight, same band, Lawrence. Some good songs there. Some songs that didn't quite make the cut. There was A Million Times by Fiddlehead from their album Between the Richness. Holiday.
I have to revisit that album.
That's a good one. Holiday by Turnstile. That's 6, 7. Number 8 is, and I think I know why I listened to this song, and it's because of Gilmore Girls. And I think I finished it earlier this year. I think I finished Gilmore Girls earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, but like it was Dolly Parton's version of I Will Always Love You.
Oh, no.
That Lorelai sings towards the very end of the season, or the final season.
Damn.
What a bop. 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 was Casualty by Lawrence. I guess I really loved this record this year. I listened to it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Brief Motif by Fiddlehead. Between the Richness, you definitely should check out that record. And not quite in my top 10, but at number 11, it was All Too Well, the Dan Campbell version of this cover by Taylor Swift.
Oh, man. The Wonder Years doing Taylor Swift.
It wasn't the Wonder Years. It was
just Dan. Yeah.
It was Dan Campbell, and I think the backing band on it was Future Teens. Have you ever heard of that band?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
It's a fantastic cover you definitely have to listen to. Actually, All Too Well, no matter what, like either all the versions of it slap. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but that's one of my favorite songs for whatever reason.
That's an eclectic mix. What a time to be alive.
Oh, and my top genre is hardcore.
Who is shocked by it? Raise your hands.
Anyone?
Let us know in the comments. Message us on Instagram and Twitter. That's nobody's shocked by that.
No, nobody should be shocked by that.
It's a pretty good rundown.
But that's my list.
Damn. So Dan was all over the place and I was kind of in the same place?
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Here's to next year. Hopefully it's not hopefully it's just as good.
Yeah, I mean, things are more or less back to normal down here in the South. There's a lot of talk about, variants and stuff in the media, but nobody down here seems to be paying it very much mind. And I can't really blame them because the burnout from all of this has been a lot. So hopefully, if something good is going to come from that, hopefully it's just artistic output. Get some more good albums in and hopefully some really good shows this upcoming year. And we'll do the same thing next year, and hopefully we'll do it without only 17 episodes recorded in a year.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do better.
We'll definitely get on the ball. We'll coordinate and stuff. I think you've had moves and job changes and everything. I've had job changes and relationships and it's been a whole year for both of us. And it ain't over yet. We still have time to get squeeze a couple more in before 2022 hits us like a bag of bricks.
For sure.
So yeah, there's a little bit of our Spotify / Apple Music Wrapped. We covered all the Patriots news that we needed to cover. Had some giggles along the way.
Tell me what you think about our Spotify rewound list. Let me know what you think. You're the best. You're the best.
Just aping Anthony Fantano forever. But yeah, do we need to go into any recommendations this week?
Let me see. I think my only recommendation is, so recently, I think it was last month, I saw Andrew McMahon for the first time. And maybe I've already made this recommendation, but
I don't think you have.
I'll make it again. He is from Something Corporate, Jack's Mannequin, and he also has his own solo project as well. And I bought them for Justine as a birthday present because she's really into them, or really into him. And yeah, he's really good, really talented, and I enjoy listening to Andrew McMahon. So definitely check out some of his projects and what he's done. I have a playlist of the songs that he played live during our concert, and he's just a really good performer. So yeah,
nice. My recommendation this week, and I'm not sure if it's a repeat. I don't think it is. I've been really, really loving the new Circe record. It's called Cowboy Music. I think that, Circe was a pretty prolific Boston hardcore band. And they were heavy and almost kind of grimy back in the day. They did a release that I have on a cassette tape of everything, their collected works from I forget when the years were. It was 2009 to 2014 or 2015 maybe, when they initially kind of went on hiatus or ended things.
Yeah.
They were really heavy, really, really good, just Boston hardcore band. They recently came out with a new album called Cowboy Music that I think is probably the best beginner's hardcore record I've heard in a while. So like it's the perfect first like true hardcore record to listen to if you've heard some like metalcore kind of stuff, or if you're coming from more of that metal or more of that punk or even like pop punk emo kind of wheelhouse, and you're looking to kind of get into, you know, what is like more traditional hardcore all about. This album's a really great kind of introduction to all of that, and then looking into some of their influences and who they played with and stuff like that could really help you spiral into the wonderful world of hardcore music through a really great Boston band that's done a lot of really great charity work and things like that. So check it out. It's on all the streaming services. They love to use their Bandcamp, so if you feel so inclined to support them, definitely hit them up there where they can actually see some of your hard-earned dollars when you try and send them their way. And yeah, that's really, I mean, it's been Cowboy.
I just want to mention one thing about Surtsey. They've put on some of the best shows I've ever seen. I've saw them a couple times, and boy, they don't disappoint.
Their bassist / producer was also in Animal Flag, which I'm sure Dan and I have talked about a bunch on the podcast as well. Yeah, just that whole like kind of corner of the Boston music scene and the music scene in general just consistently puts out great work, and this album that Circe put out is no exception. So go check that out for sure.
Yeah, definitely do that. So this wraps things up. I'm Dan Mayotte, and you should follow us on our social media. It's Pack Your Run Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. Hit us up on both of our personal social media as well. We'd love to hear from you. And do you have anything else to add? I'm
good. I'm going to find myself something to eat and get ready to work in the morning. Hooray.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Tell a friend about us, and we'll catch you. You know, we're going to try and not make it 3 weeks in between every episode. We're doing our best. Just bear with us.
Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.